So from all fours, yoga block can be placed on the low back however is comfortable for you. From there, we're simply going to step into a plank, shoulders directly over top of our hands, heels driving back in the floor, head squeezed back, abs are squeezed, glutes are tight, knees are locked. Get a breath in and a breath out. In this position with high tension, we've got 3 hip cars. Right leg driving slowly into flexion, knee to elbow. Open that hip out slow. Max out abduction, internally rotate, scrape up into extension. Freeze at the knee, reverse, extend. Externally rotate, turn out, nothing else moves. Hovering towards that elbow into flexion, and that's 1. Reset, breath in. Flexion. Open that hip out, abduction. Internal rotation, drive up into extension. Lower down, reverse, extend. Externally rotate, turn out, fighting into abduction and through into flexion. 1 more time here. Flex forward. Open that hip up and out. These are tough. Fight for that internal rotation. Squeeze up into extension. Lower down, reverse. Reaching to the sky, turning out, fighting forward towards that elbow, and just flip around for left hip. Yoga block right on that low back. Make sure it's set there nicely. Come into your plank position. Again, shoulders over hands, heels driving back, good tension. Left hip flexes forward, opens up and out, internally rotates, extends, knee to knee, reverse, extend. ER drives out, abduct, hover into elbow, flexion, reset, get a breath. Flex, rep 2. Open that hip out, challenge yourself through that IR and abduction, extending and reverse, drive heel up, turn out, pull towards elbow, 1 more time, breath in. Flex, challenge yourself, these are tough. Open that hip, IR, scrape to the sky, knee lowers to knee, reversing, extend, turn out, hover through abduction into flexion, and we're done with our hip cars. Have a seat for a moment. Pails and rails for hip IR next. Same exact cueing as 90-90. Pail is going to be, you're not moving, but pail is going to be trying to drive through the floor with that motion, trying to externally rotate out of hip IR. Rail is going to be trying to lift the heel from the floor while we turn back deeper into the stretch. If you need to regress, just bring this leg in, do it from 90-90. So breath in. If you're able to, reach this hand right on your thigh, hold that breath for a moment, pre-tension your glute. Start pushing your foot down like you're trying to turn your thigh through the ground. I'm trying to drive my foot down and almost open my thigh up into my hand. I'm gonna fight right there. 10 seconds is a rep. Pushing, I want some tension here. Think 20-30% of your effort. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, rails. Crush your knee, try and lift your foot. Turn your sternum back towards that thigh. Pull into hip IR. 3, 2, 1. Breathe here. Really relax into it. Just 1 more round. Pre-tension, high lateral hip. Pails effort, driving foot down, trying to open thigh out. You can think foot down, knee up. 10 seconds. This time more tension. 30%, find 40%, maybe 50 and 60 and fight. 5, 4, you should feel these. 3, 2, rails, crush your knee. Trying to lift foot, pull back towards that thigh. 3, 2, 1. Relax for a moment. All right, as you feel ready, I just want you to turn that thigh out, scrape it back into 90-90. We have 1 challenge for this side before we switch around the opposite way to complete the full series. We're gonna work our V-sit transfer, getting from 90-90 to the opposite side of 90-90. So V-sit transfer, please just join me here, do your best to follow along. I'm gonna go nice and slow. If you need to regress this, lean more weight out on the hand, or again, sit up on that pillow. First step is our trail leg. I'm going to abduct my full thigh and foot, gonna lift up, hold. Plantar flex my ankle, point it. Now hinge my knee straight, hovering the floor, freeze. We're gonna pull through. As you get through, turn out, start to lift that leg up. Hands come to the ground, inner leg's gonna lift, find your V-sit position, flip sides. Right leg folds under, right hand goes wide, left thigh turns out. Find that position, bend the knee. We're in 90-90, facing the opposite way. Right leg in front, left leg and back, full series for that opposite side. So breath in, hand on thigh, this time squeezing your glute, trying to externally rotate the full hip, pushing the floor away as if you're not moving, but as if you were doing this effort for pails, rails, trying to lift that heel up while turning back into the stretch. Breath in, pre-tension glute. Start to drive your foot down, almost opening thigh up into your hand, fighting right there. 10 seconds, 2 rounds, push. Driving up, 10% meets 20 meets 30, working here. 5, 4, 3, 2, rails, try and lift your foot up, turn your chest back. Try and get that heel off the ground while you get deeper into the stretch. 2, 1, hips gonna feel these, might even cramp out. Breath in, tension, round 2, foot pressing down, trying to open my thigh up into my hand. 10 seconds, a little more effort this time. 20%, 30%, 40%, maybe 50, maybe even 60. Keep going, glute getting fatigued. 3, 2, 1, rails, try and lift your foot, turn back into that stretch. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew, if you're able to hit that pails rails without cramping, that shows you quite a bit there. Tough. Let's get that last option here to save the work. Come back into your 90-90, just scrape yourself into it. We've got that V-sit transfer now for the left leg leading. If you need to watch the first rep before joining in, that's fine. Otherwise, hand can post as wide as needed. Stay nice and tall, lift that fist, squeeze it. You're gonna lift the whole leg up, hold, point your foot back, extend the knee, nothing moves. Follow through, turn thigh out, hands come to floor, both legs lift, floating V-sit. Continue, left leg folds under, right leg stays up, left hand goes wide, right thigh turns in. Stay there, bend back, set down.
Okay, next up, we're challenging some hip extension. I'm gonna take you through collapsed quadruped, all about this right side first. You're going to take that left leg and bring it closer to your torso. Next step is you're gonna sit down and kick out that right leg straight, sitting back down on that heel, and you're gonna come on down, fold on down to those elbows. You're gonna get these 2 hip extension lift-offs. So my back leg is long. All I'm gonna do is tuck the pelvis, elbows are saw forward. I'm going to lift off, hold strong, and set down. Another rep right here. Tuck the pelvis, tension glutes, lock that leg, saw those elbows forward. I'm gonna lift off, hold, 3, 2, 1, and set down. Okay, if you found that to be a very tough challenge and you couldn't lift your leg, that is okay. I want you to stay in that position. But if you want to make this even more challenging with me, you can take that left ankle, lock it into ankle plantar flexion now, and this becomes a much tougher effort. As you see that angle of hip extension change, my thigh is now closer to the ground. So all we're gonna do, we're actually gonna make this a passive range hold. So right now, this is my passive range. To make it active, all I do is point that back ankle, and you do 2 reps with me. Okay, so you can either go in that elbow saw forward or hands out just to give yourself even more of a base of support. Breath in, tension those hands. Breath out, point the ankle, lock the knee. 2, 1, set down. 1 last rep. Find that pelvis tuck, breath in. Use that exhale. Engage those glutes, lock that knee, hold, hold, hold. And set down. Oof, it's tough. This is just a body weight drill, but it's so challenging. I'm gonna flip, do the opposite side. I don't know about you, but those hip extension liftoffs and hip extension passive range holds never get easier. They're such a great challenge to revisit. Let's get those 4 reps for that left leg now. Come join me in this collapsed quadruped position. We're gonna find all 4s. Again, now it's all about that right leg coming up closer to your torso. Sit back on that right heel and kick that left leg out straight. Gonna fold down to the elbows. What we are going to do is get those 2 reps of just a lift off. So heels driving back, leg is nice and long. Gonna tuck that pelvis, breath in, breath out. I'm going to extend that leg behind me. Hold strong, 2, 1, set down. Another rep, same checklist. Breathe in, tuck the pelvis, saw those elbows forward, breath out. Squeeze those glutes, lock that leg, hold strong, 2, 1, set on down. Okay, if you got it, let's go for it. We're gonna plantar flex that right ankle now, sitting down on that heel, really challenging that left hip extension now. These are so tough. This is my passive range with my ankle locked in plantar flexion. To make this active, All I do, I don't change the angle of my thigh going backwards. I just plantar flex my bottom ankle. 2 reps, do these with me. Again, to make this a little bit more doable, I'm gonna kick these hands out wide, give myself a bigger base of support. So breath in, heavy in those hands, tuck the pelvis, breath out. Use that exhale to help you here. Holding still, leg is nice and long, driving behind you. 2, 1, set down, another rep right into it. Breath in, heavy in the hands, tuck the pelvis, squeeze those glutes, lock that knee, hold, hold, hold. 2, 1, and dorsiflex. And when you're ready, you can come on out of that.